Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I am jet lagged.
And you are back.
I'm Charlie Cotton.
Welcome back, Charlie Cotton. I'm Wyld, your producer.
Your producer, my producer. I'm so jet lagged. I got back from Australia over the weekend.
We missed you. The people missed you, Charlie Cotton.
I don't know about that.
The podcast is not the same without you. All the comments all last week were like, "Where's Charlie Cotton?
I don't know
Where's
about
Charlie Cotton?" And we
Thank
were like,
you,
"Chill, mate, chill." It's okay."
Yeah, I was in Australia. I was enjoying Down Under with my family. It was a good time. It was so good going with two little kids, but it's just so tiring.
Okay.
Like it's like a 15 or 16 hour plane ride.
That's tough.
With a 6-month-old and a 4-year-old.
Can't you give them a little something?
We can.
Smoother?
We did. I mean,
they woke up. It was 16.
Yeah, I mean, we did. But also now that we get back in LA, they're jet lagged. So we don't get to try to get over ours. They're up all night doing, this and that. I did this,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Y'all care about football in Australia? Were people excited about the Super Bowl?
I think somewhat we do care about football. Also, there's an Aussie who plays for Philadelphia.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Jordan Mailata.
I love that. Okay.
He plays, he had the big, did you see when they got the trophy? He had the Australian flag up there
I
on
didn't
stage.
know what flag that was.
It was Australian. So we're proud of him. We got our own, we got Australian football. So we're more into that. But let's talk about your big game, Wyld.
Oh, yes.
The Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
It was, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
The game was great. It was a little boring.
The game was a little boring, but for the fact that it's great to see the Kansas Chiefs get their asses handed to them.
Oh, my God. I think everybody, unless you're from Kansas City or you like Taylor Swift, was rooting against the Chiefs.
100%.
Everybody was.
They win every time.
And they got their ass bust.
Right.
It was kind of like a wipeout the whole game. Even when they came back a little bit, it was too late in the quarter, bro.
And they always come back and they always win. So even when they were down, what were they down at one point? 35-0 or something?
30-0 or something?
I still kind of thought maybe they'd come back, but they didn't. They came back a little, but they didn't win. You saw Patrick Mahomes. He was going for a three-peat. It was going to be the first ever three-peat in NFL history.
Yeah.
He fumbled the ball.
I'm kind of glad they lost. 40-22. Shout out to Philadelphia.
Shout out. You're from Philadelphia.
I'm from Philadelphia. Yes.
Are you a big Eagles fan, or are you just
No, I'm just a fake Eagles fan. I'm from Philadelphia. I didn't know what was going on during the game, but I was watching and I was like, yes.
Do you own any merch?
I own a shirt that I had from 10 years ago.
Okay.
I'm not a real I'm just from Philly, bro.
Yeah, it's fun. Just get on the bandwagon last minute.
That's all it is. Last night I'm outside come on. Literally me in Hollywood. But no, the Eagles had a big game, 40-22. About 4 minutes, it was 3 or 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter yesterday. But Philadelphia was already celebrating.
Oh yeah.
People were taking it to the streets. People were in the stands. They were already going crazy. So I think that we knew we were going to win once we got to the fourth quarter.
Oh, you knew you were going to win before Kendrick came out. Before Kendrick came out at halftime, I think you knew you were going to win.
The Chiefs, that's kind of their thing. They'll
come back.
Yeah, they'll have a shaky start and then they'll kick some ass in the end. So we were all a little nervous, but shout out to Philly.
And shout out to Kendrick Lamar.
Shout out to Kendrick Lamar, man.
I don't know. It's hard to know how to appraise this halftime show because I know I'm so biased towards I loved
Same.
I just wanted it to be all about Drake, and it was all about Drake. The whole thing was a diss to Drake. When Kendrick is there's that one shot of Kendrick going around in the circle, around in the circle. He smiles and goes, "Hey Drake." It was just let's play a little bit of his halftime show.
Certified lover boy, certified. Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
You got that A minor line in there.
Everyone in the stadium chanting A minor.
And you know the necklace he was wearing?
Yes, with the lowercase a?
It was an A minor. He was wearing an A minor jewelry. It's fantastic.
Everything about the performance was good. Also, the symbolism, a lot of people didn't catch that the performers were literally wearing red, white, and blue, and at one point they made an American flag.
Yes.
They had Samuel L. Jackson there who was playing Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
It was great. Serena Williams, who, if you guys don't know, Serena Williams is Drake's ex.
So, to
have her crip walking on Drake's grave essentially last night? Come on.
It's just so good. And even throughout the whole performance, he was kind of hinting he's about, is he going to do the Drake stuff? Because he talked about, it was so meta. He talked about the fact that Drake wanted to sue him over this.
He literally,
as part of the performance.
He literally goes, I want to do their favorite song, but they like to sue. And it smiles at the audience. Come on.
So
Also,
good.
SZA. People forget that SZA and Drake had a thing back in the day too. So
I
it's like
forgot.
both of Drake's exes and his arch nemesis literally just dancing on his grave.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Do you think Drake watched?
Of course. It was also one of those things that I don't think he could have not watched. And here's why I tell you that. Drake was posting on Instagram like earlier Sunday morning. So that lets me know Drake was on social media yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
There was no way Drake got on Instagram last night or Twitter or TikTok.
Didn't see it. No
Come
way.
on.
No way.
If he wanted to not watch, he probably like turned his phone off to be like, I don't want to see this.
Drake is actually in Australia right now.
I know.
You know that?
Yeah. How do y'all feel about that?
I mean, I don't dig him, but I mean, he's got fans everywhere he goes.
Drake's really popular.
It's so weird because he's always kind of like the top Spotify artist of the year, even though he has a bad year. So I think he'll always be somewhat relevant, Drake.
Right.
But like when Kendrick flashed up that game over at the end of his halftime show, like this is game over for the beef. The beef. Like, do you think Drake's gonna try to respond, or does he have to sort of like just let it slide and try to get back what career he's got?
I think he has to pivot. You can't. There's no coming back after somebody dish you on the Super Bowl halftime stage.
I know.
Like the whole world is screaming certified pedophile.
Right.
Like, so there's no way he can essentially like fire it back. I don't think he'll try to fire it back. I think he'll swerve.
Is he gonna try to sue? Is he gonna try to sue?
The NFL?
How
like what is
petty would it be?
What is his Karen move going to be after this? Is that the question? We don't know.
He better just like leave it to one side and just go back into his pop love songs. You know what I mean?
That like Hotline Blingish. Yeah,
stop trying to rap.
Stop trying to be hood, Drake.
Right.
That's what Kendrick said though. We like Drake when he sings.
And it was a massive like diss on Canada almost, I thought, because just all that Americana, all the patriotism, it's almost just a bit. And America and Canada have beef already right now because of Trump and Trudeau. And for him just to make it all about Uncle Sam and just this America theme, it's just trying to. I hate Drake.
People on Twitter were saying that Kendrick's going to bring out the guy that shot Jimmy on Degrassi. Like,
yeah,
that would have been perfect.
He was. Yeah, I saw that. They say that this is the second time Drake's been killed on TV.
Come on, Drake.
So good.
I kind of love it. Do we think Drake will recover? Probably. But like for now, I'm Team Kendrick.
Big time Team Kendrick. Another thing coming out of the Super Bowl, Trump versus Taylor, because it was so interesting to me that they barely showed Taylor during the telecast. Like, they were flashing to the audience saying, here we have some celebrities in the audience. And it was like John Hamm.
Right. Like
this other random sort of person, it's Paul McCartney. Right. They didn't show, they barely flashed Taylor.
I think they showed Taylor once or twice during the whole game.
The whole game.
The whole game, which is insane because, like, she's the queen of the Chiefs, essentially.
Right. Not even like when like Travis Kelce dropped a ball or when he caught a ball. Like usually they would flash to her. The only time I remember seeing her was just before Kendrick's halftime show. I saw her.
Yep.
But barely like it's just interesting that they chose not to show her at all.
During the Super Bowl.
During the Super Bowl.
Biggest football game of the year.
And they chose, and like I can put chose in inverted commas because I bet Trump told them to show him during, like, say, the national anthem. He was there giving his salute, and you heard all these cheers and applause on the telecast. Right. Like, if you look at viral video that was taken of the same instance, there are boos as well. But
I didn't know that.
They didn't include that as part of the telecast.
Wow, I didn't know that at all.
So there's different, and they didn't show Taylor at all. And then after the game, there were videos as well of people booing at Taylor. And Trump tweeted out about Taylor getting booed, saying, the only one that had a tougher night than the Kansas City Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed out of the stadium. MAGA is very unforgiving.
That's a little wild.
Yeah.
My thing is, it was interesting to see because, like you said, if you watched the game, it felt like the crowd was chanting for Trump, but then booing Taylor. And that was a lot of the conversation online. It was like, how are we booing Taylor Swift but cheering for Donald Trump? But apparently that wasn't the case.
Well, I mean, there are videos from within the stadium that random people took that conflict the telecast, what they were showing. So I don't know if Trump was in cahoots or someone was. It's just weird. They didn't show Taylor.
And they showed a lot of Trump.
And then the big narrative. The big narrative today is Trump got cheered, Taylor got booed. Whether or not that's the truth, who knows? That's what the media told us. It
does feel a little weird that Trump took a shot at Taylor Swift. I mean, I know he doesn't like Taylor Swift for obvious reasons, but it does feel a little.
He'll come for anyone who doesn't genuflect, who doesn't bow down and say, you're our, wonderful leader.
I didn't really feel it. My question is to the MAGA people, why are eggs still $10?
Why are eggs? Yeah,
Still
he didn't fix eggs yet.
Didn't fix eggs yet. That's my only concern for Donald Trump.
Okay. All right, on to our next story.
Oh, by the way, I want to say something really quick.
Say it.
I'm from the city of Philadelphia. The city is fine. There have been a lot of videos that have popped up online and photos of like the chaos and the destruction from the city last night. Y'all, the city is fine.
It's to be expected, though.
It's to be expected. We were talking about this earlier. We're like, even if the Eagles would have lost last night, Philly would have still went wild. They were burning stuff on fire.
They grease it. Do they grease the poles?
They grease the poles, but they grease the poles all the time. But yesterday there was like a big video online of like a linen truck getting torched and set on fire.
Linen truck?
A linen truck. A truck carrying fabrics.
Oh, no.
It was very, very ghetto, but like, we're from Philly and we don't care. So shout out to Philadelphia.
Shout out to Philly. Okay, on to our next story. Kanye West, man, he went on some crazy rant in the last few days, posting all types of horrible comments, including like he said, "I'm a Nazi" in capital letters. Like, and he was just going on this massive anti-Semitic, just hateful tirade. And Elon Musk didn't ban him or censor him or anything like that. He just let him spew his hate on one of the biggest platforms in the world until Kanye started posting all these nudes. And the nudes did, violate whatever Musk is doing at X. And he said, given what he has posted now, his account is now classified as not safe for work. You should not be seeing his posts like that anymore.
So what that means for people that don't know, the account is, or at least until Kanye deactivated it himself, the account was still very active. That just means that like it won't show up on your feed unless you're following Kanye West. So like,
so he didn't even remove his account at all?
No. His account wasn't removed. It was literally just censored. So he put like the not safe for work label. But like, I mean, I don't know if you guys are on Twitter, but like there are a lot of adult entertainers and OnlyFans people on Twitter. They all have that not safe for work label. It's not like a banned from Twitter. It's literally just a label that when you go to their page, a little thingy pops up that says, this content is for people 18.
And you'll only see it if you follow them.
If you follow them. So
okay, great. Now I know how to find that content. Okay, I
so
didn't know how to find it.
If you're looking for it in your Explorer,
you gotta follow them first.
You gotta follow them first, and then you'll see all the photos and videos. Let me just.
But I mean, Kanye West's rant was maybe the most vile he's ever got, and
it was. He's
just leaning in so much. I don't know if you happened to see his Super Bowl commercial last night.
Oh, that was bad.
Well, I mean, the commercial itself I thought was kind of cute. In a way, like he was in a dentist chair talking about how he couldn't afford money for a commercial because he spent so much on his grill. And he put up like a QR code or whatever to go to. So that, up until then, I'm kind of in.
I was going to say. And then,
up until then, I'm kind of in. Like, I get a cute little idea. If you followed the QR code, it took you to Yeezy.com and he only had one item for sale, a plain white T-shirt, and all the plain white T-shirt had on it was a swastika.
This is bad.
That's all it had. That's all he was selling. He was selling it for something like some shekels. He was selling. He was saying that he ships it to Israel. He was doing all this stuff.
Oh, he fully leaned in.
I mean, more than like he said, I'm a Nazi. How can you lean in less? Like that's just like he is. I don't have any words actually.
No, and I was never like a Kanye supporter or a Kanye defender, but this is just freaking wild. I don't think there's any. I think that a lot of the conversations when he first kind of went on these anti-Semitic rants was that like maybe it's his bipolar, maybe it's his mental health.
Right.
And now he's like, I'm totally fine and I'm just anti-Semitic. And I'm like, okay, bro, that's bad. Like, there's no way out of this. I will say though, I'm confused about the Super Bowl commercial because did no one vet that like in the Super Bowl?
But I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. And at the time they vetted it, the QR link still went to Yeezy.com. But at that time, Yeezy.com had a bunch of products on there.
Bunch of different items.
So just before the ad goes live, remove all the products except for the swastika.
Oh man.
They played the NFL.
Are people actually buying this like merchandise?
I bloody well hope not.
I hope not either. Don't wear that around here, man.
Okay, let's read out some of your comments.
Oh yes.
On the Super Bowl, Justin says that the interceptions last night were crazy. There were some crazy. I mean, Eagles won from their defense.
Right.
They say the defense wins Super Bowls, and I always thought that was just a cliche, but maybe I think that last night it was a great defensive effort. MM says we only turned on the TV for the halftime show, and it didn't disappoint.
Absolutely not. It was like art.
it was art. It was commentary. It was such beef.
Felt things when I watched it.
That's why I'm like saying it's hard for me to properly appraise it. Like I think it was the best halftime show of all time by far.
Okay.
But
I don't know if
also,
I'd say of all time.
but also,
Definitely
I
my
just
top
hate
5.
Drake and I love Kendrick.
So any opportunity to
So it's just like it's hard to know what the truth is.
right.
Bezo Lego says Drake selling out stadiums. He don't care, bruh.
I don't know about that, Bezo.
I don't know.
You saw last week there was photos of Drake like on his tour stop in Australia wearing like a hoodie with like bullet holes in it and like smoke coming out.
He's
like,
a sensitive guy, which is
come on. He's basically being like, y'all tried to take shots at me, but I'm still alive.
Totally.
He clearly cares, Bezo.
he's very sensitive guy. That's kind of what makes his songs, some of his songs, so good.
Right. He's a lover boy.
Fuzzy Bedhead, Drake in my head as an 80s kid, fully rockin' gangster rap. Drake ain't it. He does perform well, but come on. He's Nick Teen star for our little siblings.
Kind of like Kids Bop. That's what,
he's
is that what
Kids
they're
Bop.
saying? Like he's like Teen Nick, kind of like boppity bop bop bop.
He is. I think
It's definitely like bubblegum rap.
the best of Drake is behind us.
Oh.
And this is coming from a Drake hater, but the best of Drake is behind us, only downhill from here.
He's also like 45.
Louisa says, let's say 2025 has been a rough for Taylor Swift so far. It has been.
Yes.
Apart from yesterday, has it been rough?
No, she's still rich, yo.
She hasn't been proposed to yet. Do you think
I was about to say that, but I didn't want to be that person.
if Chiefs had
She
won,
still ain't got a man.
if Chiefs had won, do you think Travis would have proposed then and there?
I don't.
I could
so.
see him doing that cliche lame stuff.
She would have loved it.
Monkey Man says Kanye's literally untouchable at this point. I kind of agree. I kind of agree.
Uncancelable.
Kanye can do whatever he wants. I feel like anyone can basically do whatever they want these days.
We're in a Donald Trump era.
Right. Anyone can do whatever they want as long as you got your base of fans. Then, like, who cares if people hate you? Then keep hating me. Get louder. I hope that haters are louder. So attention.
It is a lot of attention on Kanye right now.
MM is glad to see me back in the studio. Did I go to Bluey Land? Yes, we went to Bluey Land.
Wait, what's Bluey Land? Is that like Bluey the dog?
Bluey's from Australia. You didn't know the Bluey's from Australia?
I don't have kids, but I knew who Bluey was. I didn't know Bluey was from Australia.
Bluey, it's our #1 export. It's bigger than the Wiggles.
Wow.
Massive.
The Wiggles also from Australia?
You didn't know what?
Oh.
Yes. Next, you're going to ask if Vegemite's from, like... and Steven, Charlie Cotton is back. Glad you're back. Love the Charlies. Love you too, Wyld.
Love you too, Steven.
Well, what a great episode. I'm glad that I'm back.
Glad
in
you're
the
back,
States.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. I like being a little different. You know what I mean? Like, there's too many of me in Australia.
You come back here. Well, now we got 2 Australians, so.
I know we got another, but at least she's a girl, Christina. Like, we got another Australian in the building.
But now you're back. We missed you.
Thank you, Wyld. Appreciate you joining me today, mate.
Of course.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Goodbye.